Hi guys, how are we doing? So today we're going out into the garden because I have some work to do. I have some seeds to put in. We're actually gonna start growing our fava beans. Okay, so broad beans and fava beans. A little bit confusing, but hopefully by the end of this it won't be so confusing. I have a lot of information to impart. We have a lot of learning to do together. We're gonna go and do that and start right now. Okay, so we're out in the garden. We made it this far, yay! So it's 9 o'clock in the morning. It's only actually just got properly daylight and enough daylight to do this, but it's not daylight enough that the solar light isn't going on, so that's why I'm a bit yellow. Anywho, let's learn a little bit about fava beans and their origins before we start. I have so much info. Right, so which came first, the fava bean or the broad bean? Well, I can absolutely tell you the answer to that. It is the fava bean. Broad beans are a type of fava bean. They're just called broad beans because they are a broader bean. Okay, but they're all part of the same thing. Now, where did the name fava bean come from? Well, it is believed that kind of comes from the Old English, Old High German, Old Norse word, and you know, somewhere along the line, you know, it English version of the Latin faba, and then it made its way to Spanish. So fava is actually the word for fava, which means bean. So fava beans are bean beans. Yeah, that makes sense. Botanists. Anywho, okay, so yeah, and broad bean is basically, it describes the type of, you know, the size of the bean rather than the little ones, because as you can see, these ones are actually quite tiny. All right, now they're also sometimes called English beans, European beans, pigeon peas, chickpeas and Windsor beans. Okay, and the different names tend to say whether they're for people eating or for animal eating, whether they're edible for humans or not. Okay, so in Europe they tend to be known as field beans. They're not the same as the field beans in the US. Okay, so two very different types of field beans or common beans, right? But that's what field beans are in Europe, are broad beans or fava beans, or a variety thereof. Now, they can grow from anywhere to a foot high to 7 feet tall, and the bigger the bean, the less pods you get. Okay, so if you've got a small variety of fava bean, you'll get them growing 2 to 5 pods on a node, whereas if you get the big ones, they're only going to give you about 1 or 2. Now, they can grow pods up to 18 inches long. Now, the pods are edible along with the bean if they're very, very young. If they're not young, don't go there. Just don't. Just pod the things, peel the beans, eat the insides, or try them. Use them that way. Okay. Right, so. Okay. Now, before I actually get to do these, I'm going to have to empty that bed there of the beetroot. So I guess we better go and do that first, and then we can talk to you about something a little bit nasty. Okay, so this is the biggest one of my beetroot beds, and we're just going to have to pull them up because we need the bed. They've been in here for a while. They also have potatoes in here, so I've got to find them, but they're not very big, but we can use them. Don't see why not. Oh, look at that one. Oh my god. Yeah, that one's a baby. They're so babies. Okay. Teeny weenies. I don't think I'm even going to have to peel those. Am I going to have to peel those? I don't think I will. Oh my god. But the other beds are going to have to stay in. They can stay in till spring. Oh my god. Alright. I'm getting some that are actually got some size to them. A bit of a size to them, not a lot. But some size. Okay. Oof. Oh, yeah, see, we're getting some with a bit of size to them. Just don't fall over, okay? Right. Okay, I'm just pulling all of the rest of these out because it's not really worth keeping them in there. Now, these potatoes, I don't think we're really going to get anything out of those, to be honest. They were volunteers, you know. Okay. Yeah, look. Ta-da! Okay. Alright. Let's just put those there for now. Get that potato out of there, we don't need that. Right, so we're going to do a bit of an experiment with our beans this year. We're going to be putting half the bed with these and half the bed with the shop bought beans as well. Now I know a lot of people actually soak their beans, but I don't got time for that. 6, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 maybe. Yeah, we'll try that and see how we go. Ooh, and considering how wet it is, I don't think it's actually going to be very long before we get some beanage happening. So I'm not putting any more feed in here just now because these will actually put nitrogen into the soil and they'll actually fix the soil themselves. So yeah, and I am putting them fairly close together because I want them to hold themselves up. Right. So they can hold each other up. That's 9 of those. Now, the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get all of this and I'm going to break it over the top. So it's all going to be like chop and drop over the top with all this beetroot leaves, which we won't eat anyway, so we may as well just drop them straight on here. They're not going to do much good, so I'll just chuck those on there too. I mean, they're only babies. Oof. This will give us a little bit of feed going in there, I hope, and a little bit of mulching, so hopefully it'll keep the cats off the bed because we don't want the cats on the beds at all. Thank you very much. Okay, now there was something I was going to talk to you about when it comes down to fava beans, and the professional nutritionist, dietitian, herbalist side of me wants to discuss it because I feel that it's necessary. Okay, so there is a form of quite a nasty anemia that can be gained by or set off in some people from broad beans, and it's called Favism. And I'm going to explain it a bit more when I'm not doing this because actually I'm not going to have much long to do this in. I think I can already hear the evil flutterings of pigeons. I want to get this done as fast as possible before they start attacking. Ooh, sorry. Oh, I just got to stop for a minute, and I figure this is a good time to talk about Favism while we're just taking a bit of a break. Okay, now, so fava beans can cause severe anemic reactions in certain people with an inherited hemolytic syndrome called Favism. This trait occurs in people of Mediterranean heritage such as Egypt, Turkey, Greece, southern Italy, Cyprus, or Sardinia, also Iran and China. Compounds in fava beans, vicine and covine, cause red blood cells to be broken down in these individuals, which is in severe cases results in potentially fatal anemia. Cause of the problem is relatively low amount of enzyme in red blood cells called glucose 6 phosphated dehydrogenase. Phosphated dehydrogenase. Did I tell you it was early in the morning? Okay. The vicine presents in amounts up to 0.35% in the beans. The beans inhibit this essential enzyme, causes the cells to burst, which may be fatal. You will know if this is in your family. Do not start to panic. If someone in your family has this, get yourself tested before huffing down a bowl full of broad beans. Simple, okay? It's a simple test. It's a prick test, I think. Blood test, simple, right? Okay, so, funny story, just to lighten the mood. Since the trait was so common, the ancient Greek philosopher Pythagoras believed they were beans of death. He even taught his disciples to never eat, touch, or go near the beans. So the story goes, he and his disciples were out for a walk one day, and when they got taken upon by an angry mob who were looking to do a bit of violence, their only escape was through a broad bean field. They refused to take the escape, sticking to their beliefs, and ended up dead. However, there is a bit of a curious thing when it comes to the hemolytic anemia. Now, it seems that in some cases it may actually protect against malaria, because the parasite that is spread by mosquitoes in malaria, which causes the malaria, they need the red cells to support them. The fava bean, the anemia basically blows up the red cells, so therefore there's nowhere for the anemia to go. It's pretty cool. It is a bit of a dangerous situation. You don't want to be eating too many fava beans if you have this kind of situation, but you know, it does maybe protect a little bit against the disease. A little bit. Anywho, I'm going to get these. Now, I got these from Hodmidods. They're organic whole fava beans. They are the Maris Bead variety. And yeah, I'm going to put in 9 of these. These are from my cupboard. I already have them. I already use them in my cooking. So I know that I will use them. So because they're in my pantry and they are allowed this year, I'm going to be growing a few of these. All right. So I've got my 9 seeds there. And we're going to go put those in. Ta-da! Here we go. Right, so we're going to pop these in. Again, I haven't done anything like, you know, soaked them. I haven't got time for that. I'm just going to pop them in. Going to give them a bit of a 2 digits down job because I want to protect them from a little bit of frost. And I'm hoping this will do the job along with the beetroot mulch that I'm going to put on. Okay, we're going to get some more of these. This will also save me having to take in all this rubbish, to be fair. Right. Leave it all where it belongs, isn't it? Okay. Now my other beetroot, which was actually planted at the same time, seems to have given itself the ability to succession seed, which is fine, and it probably won't be ready till anywhere near spring, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. Now I know we could use these leaves, but I'm not a big fan of... We've got a load in the freezer, to be fair, and I'm not a huge fan of soft leaf salads, which this would be classed as, really. I don't really want to use these that way. A few more, just a couple more, and it's not too heavy for the plants to come through either. They will go through this quite happily, thankfully. I'll get some more on the other side as well. Okie dokie. Last few. Oops. I actually give it a really nice little mulchy mulch. Keep the most of the frost off them and allow them to come through in their own time. Hey, I'm in. Well, I hope you liked our little look into fava beans and broad beans and stuff. I'm going to go and wash up. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, see what happens with the fava bean experiment, please do hit the subscribe button and click the little bell icon and choose the all options so that you'll get notified when I put more videos up. Until then, see you later guys. Love yous. Blessings.